What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Ham Radio Crash Course. Today, we're doing what we do every year. Hunt for the best deals on Black Friday. Thanks for joining me out there. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving with the family. And, you know, those are international. Maybe you don't have Thanksgiving. You can still enjoy some Black Friday deals, potentially. So we're going to try and build a ham shack with the deals that are online. So we'll get started soon. Enjoy the memes. All right, let's get things a-rolling here. Thanks, everybody, for joining me on a bit of an ad hoc live stream day. We don't normally stream on Fridays anymore, but we always like to stream on Black Friday. And I got to say, the last couple of years, I think you've all been with me. I've definitely had the commentary that Black Friday's been kind of a disappointment the last couple of years. I blame COVID and the chip shortage and all that fun stuff that goes along with it. But I got to tell you what. There are some okay-ish deals out there this year. It is the most okay-est Black Friday of note in the last couple of years. So I'm pretty excited to share some of this stuff with you. And again, the goal here, as we've done the last couple of years, is that we try and flesh out a shack, right? Get the most important parts of a shack, but then include some tools, some test equipment, that kind of thing. That's kind of the goal of what we do out there. Hey, RF Field Tech's in the house. I saw Mike. I saw Andy. How's it going? Hey, K6ARK's in the house too as well. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are out here. So let's also make note, and I won't spend any time belaboring it with stuff that's not important, but what happened? As always, things... You gotta love it. This is the last day to enter the contest for the giveaway for the antennas. So if you don't get in today, you're pretty much not going to be in for tomorrow, the live stream. Big live stream, 13 antennas are going to be giving away. These are all, most of them are kits. Some of them are completed antennas. I'll ship them to you. That's it. You win. You don't have to be in. You don't have to be in the chat to join. Just take the link in the description. It's the first link, and you can get in on the giveaway. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully, can we do multiple entries? No, you cannot. No multiple entries. In fact, the forum itself will limit you, and I if you're not careful, you will you might disqualify yourself. So don't duplicate entry. All right. So yeah, thanks everybody for checking that out. All right. So first things first, looking at deals, we're talking Black Friday deals, scouring the internet all over the place to find what I think is kind of worth your money in the market as we find it right now. Prices have gone up kind of across the board in ham radio, and you know there's not much we can do about that, which is kind of a bummer. But we can try and find good deals that would, you know, help at least to soften the blow a little bit. So we're going to start things off. There's links in the description, but you can find one of them to Gigaparts. It is my link. There are some things like test equipment, solar panels, or whatnot. And there's a coupon code. If you just use Josh at checkout, you'll get a discount there. But that's not really radios, right? So just want to mention that up front. The links, again, for all of this are in the description. And a lot of them are affiliate codes. So if you do buy something, I do get a PC action. So thanks for that. So we're starting at Gigaparts here, looking at prices of radios. Now, if you enjoy DX Engineering or Ham Radio Outlet, the prices are pretty much the same for the major 3 radio manufacturers. So I'm mainly using Gigaparts because, honestly, they have the best-looking website when it comes to Black Friday this year, because it's very vibrant and high contrast, so you guys can see it really easy. But there's a couple of standouts that I want to mention. The FTM 400... pretty good price, going from $589 to $459. That's a good deal, and it's still a really good radio. So if you're thinking about a mobile radio in your car, that's a good one. I kind of expected, no, actually, that's about what I thought. The Yaesu 710, I expected it to get to about the $1,000 range with the coupon, and that's where we're at. So $1,050 for the Yaesu 710. So if you were interested in an HF base station radio, not bad. We're going to be talking a lot about Yaesu radios because they have most of the deals right now. Scrolling down a little bit, here is kind of what I'm saying not a bad price right now. Going from $640 to $599 for a Yaesu FT891. Pretty good deal. So I would kind of put, like, us building this shack that we're talking about, I'd probably put my money here. Let's see. Hey, M. Scipio. Hey, Josh, first stream I managed to join. I got my license after seeing you guest star on Modern Rogue, and I got to talk to those guys. I got to get back out there. I feel bad we haven't been able to stay in communication. Just got my general this September. Congratulations. Keep up the great work and teaching new hams. Thank you so much for the kind words there, and welcome to this amazing hobby. So, starting things off, one of those three radios, we're leaning HF a little bit, but we're going to take a couple of notes on VHF as well. We already mentioned the FTM 400. But for those of you that want to do portable stuff or would like a mobile radio for HF, or potentially you could use this as a base station, it's not going to be the most convenient or ergonomic or comfortable to use, if you will. This is a fine radio to go if you're getting started as well. So that's where I would go with that one to kind of kick things off. With that said, as well, for those that are truly new into HF and want to get started, there's a link in the description to Radioddity. There's a $15 coupon if you use that code. The code, I think, changes constantly, so you have to just take the link and it'll give you the code. But Radioddity has a bunch of Black Friday deals right now, and a bunch of like coupons and raffles and other stuff going on. We're going to jump through that a little bit, but I want to get to the real meat of this. You can see this website's just a lot going on. But if you scroll down past I'll let you guys look at the raffles if you're so inclined. But hopefully it's not sold out. It's close to being sold out. So this is probably your best deal on a Xiegu G90. If you wanted to get a Xiegu G90, this is probably the cheapest you're going to get it. Going for $399, radio with the CE19 digital interface, and then the I think it's got the front little kickstand thing. That's probably the proper cheapest you can go. You can add this kickstand here, which I would recommend if you're going to do digital modes. That's probably going to be the best way. I believe that's actually cheaper than you can get it on Amazon right now. Amazon also has it for $400, but it doesn't come with any of those add-on accessories. Important note, though, is that kickstand. And let me see if we can pull that up individually here. Yeah, this kickstand's like $70. It actually is really good, particularly if you're going to be doing digital modes. If you can't buy this, $70 is kind of expensive. You can, of course, just put some active cooling, like a fan on it or something like that, and it'll do really well. And shout out to Radioddity. It no longer will chop up baby fingers, because I swear that thing, the first generation of that fan tray was just open. I straight up cut myself. Yeah, that's another good point, too. There is another deal for Xiegu, by the way. Amazon, link in the description. There's a bunch of links, and you can pull up the Xiegu G90 there as well. But you have to be a Prime member to get a lot of them. So just keep that in mind, that this one, though, is it's just $400 straight up, which is a pretty good deal. All right. How's it going in the chat? Yep. I agree. Quantum radio. Yeah, this is, I believe, possibly the best deal on a G90 that I've seen in the last couple of years. Again, we've not had very good Black Fridays, and this one actually was really good. Just a reminder, folks, if you're watching, we're going to be wrapping up here at the end of the hour, and we're going to go straight over to Ham Radio 2.0's channel. So I want every one of you to go join us over there. We're going to do a holiday happy hour, and I have this whole stream to just redirect you, just nicely carry you right over there, as though I was carrying you out of the car and tucking you into bed. But we're going to be going to a happy hour, so please join us over there. Looking for a VHF radio, though, or a handheld. A couple of good deals out there with buy two-way radios. This is also an affiliate link, so if you click on this, it does help me out. That's just an FYI. If you watch my video on my favorite HTs of this year, or the ones that are available this year, not necessarily new radios, then I mentioned the KG-UV9D Mate. This is a solid buy. There's not a huge discount on this one, but all the other Wushun radios that are available on Buy 2A radios are pretty much also on sale. Any of the KG-UV9 anything, they can look subtly different, but they're all almost all the same, and they're all very, very good. So I give this one high marks. This is what I called kind of the the Chinese spiritual successor to the Yaesu FT60. Quite a good radio. Still highly recommended. In fact, if we go to any one of these, so the UV9P Papa, same thing. It's $10 off basically, or $15 off. This one's out of stock, but it's basically the same thing as the UV9D Mate. All right. Good question. So the XPA 125, and let's go back to Radioddity for a second and see if we've got that amp. That's okay. So the question is, the XPA 125 is a amplifier, 100-watt amplifier. 619. It might be. That's not that great of a discount, and I believe I bought mine years ago, and it was at Ham Radio Outlet. I think I paid in the 500s for it. So I think prices have gone up on this particular guy. But to be honest, I don't know if you're going to find that cheaper for a while. I don't see that really coming down. So good question. Really good question. All right. So also, all right, so we've got radio. Hold on, let's go back. So we've got radios covered. We're potentially picking up an 891, or potentially an FTM 400, maybe a KG-UV90 Mate if you wanted a handheld. Really quickly, I do have to pull up HRO. Because there is another mention here that I want to hit. And that is the FT5DR is a really good price too. Well, going from $479 down to $349. And where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where's all our ICOM radios? There it is. The ICOM radio is also on sale from $650 down to $600, so a $50 drop. If you are looking at this radio, which is already at the top of the line, and also considering the price, one of the most expensive handhelds, that's one of the better prices that you're going to get this go around. So on our list again, potentially Yaesu FT891 is a good price considering what the price has been and the availability of that radio. So if you're thinking about it, you might want to check that one out. The Yaesu 710 did come to about $1,000, so it's $1,050 right now, which is kind of what I speculated it would be for Black Friday. I assumed that it would be sub $1,100, and ideally I would have liked to see it hit $1,000. Pretty close. The Yaesu met us halfway, so that's a pretty good price. Anything by two-way radio, there's a ton of handhelds on sale right now. All good stuff. Wushin makes good stuff. So radio, think we're covered. In the comments, if anybody finds a better deal, let me know. Let's move on to antennae. So Callum over at DX Commander, he put together a couple of antenna packages. These are extremely limited numbers. This is a DX Commander Classic with the 80-meter add-on. The only difference with this kit is that it has a 2 rolls of the tri-rated wire, not the DX10 wire. It's the wire that I believe I have on my Expedition antenna. Works just fine. There's no real difference. But price of this, which is the really selling point here, is €209, which I believe works out to about $300 American. Or pound. Is it 209 pound or is that in euro? Doesn't matter. It's about $300. Good news on this one. These are going to go really fast because that's a really extremely good price for a classic. The good news about this is he also has the same kit, identical kit with Jason, Ham Radio 2.0. So if you missed Jason's video, I happened to be watching it and I heard he also has this kit that he's got over a link for him too. So if you miss out on this one, you can still get Jason's. It's the same kit. It's the same thing. If you're looking for a DX Commander, this is a easy pounds. Thank you. It's an easy answer on beginner ham radio HF kit. The DX Commander Classic is fantastic. So make sure you grab that one, whichever one. If it's over, is it 217? Is that how it works out? If you're looking for a DX Commander, then this is a great deal. So make sure you go check that out. I wonder if he's got a way that you can flip things over. I'm not good at doing math in my head for dollars to pounds conversion. But Yeah, like I said, Jason he's got the same kit. There's a link on his video too if you want to go find it. That way, if you miss this one or whatever, you'll still be able to get it because I think there's only like 20 or 40 of these total. So $250. Thanks, K at MRD. $252. That's a smoking deal for a full classic with the 80-meter add-on. If you were looking for one of these, go get it. And if you're a beginner amateur radio operator and you're thinking about getting into HF or you've already got your general, it's fantastic. Let's see. Hey, Rapide's good too. That's a really good antenna too. I believe the Rapide was also on sale yesterday or the day before. So good stuff. Yeah. All right. Moving right along. Oh, you know what? We do have a word from Callum.
So we had a team meeting this morning. What we thought we'd do is give you a classic. So it's the original DX Commander that we all know and love. There's just one small difference, okay, just to shave a little bit off the cost for us while still giving you guys a great deal, is that we're going to ship it, instead of with the regular DX10 wire, we're going to be using this. Now, look, at the beginning of this year, we shipped 500 of these. No complaints at all. It's the same copper wire inside.
Look at those dogs frolicking.
It's just the jacket's not quite as flexible. I wouldn't want to offer that to like an expedition for the super portable people, but for a permanent install, this is fine. It's a tri-rated cable, 22 conductors. It's great. Okay?
That's right. Listen to Jason. Buy both. Just buy both. Then you have the Rapide set up, and you got the classic. So you can just set the classic up forever, leave it, all set.
With the two reels, that means you can put a fantastic radial field down. You could put it as an inverted L, so you can get on 80 as well. Use it for your holiday home. Take it away with your trailer. You know, stick it away somewhere you've already got one. You know. Right. So what's the price of this? So we're going to do it. We're going to do basically an 80-meter kit for the same price as the 40s. That's £209. With shipping, it's 45. It's just gone up. I can't do anything about shipping. We don't make a profit on shipping.
Joda, thanks for
it
watching.
Comes out at just over $300. I was trying to get it at $300. Couldn't quite hit it.
So okay. Once you factor
everything
in
is normal. So you get the new HCL
bucks.
clamps. Is this classic here?
Yeah.
So this is the bag of tricks. HCL clamps, all the stainless hardware, the new Dyneema shock cord. It's absolutely, we're not skimping on the kit at all. All right, so you get that, you get the box of tricks, you know, all the plate set and everything that Lockie does for us. All done and dusted, ready to go. All right, so I've worked it out. It's just over $300. I can't get it under 300. I'm sorry. I'd love to be able to, but it's a kind of a once-a-year thing. We'll pull something out the bag for next year. All right, back to work.
All right, excellent. So thanks, Callum, for that. Literally, one of the best antennas you can get, particularly starting out. If you have the space, believe it or not, you don't need this big plot of land to lay out the radials. I did it in basically a 4-foot circle off the center of the pole. Really easy to set up. It's really, I cannot state that enough. And if you live in an area where like it has to go in a lawn, you can trench the radials down a little bit using a tool, or they actually make like a wide spade that you can kind of go in and wiggle back and forth with it, and you can push the wire into the ground, and then the grass will just grow over the top of it, and you're fine. Fantastic antenna. Thanks, Callum, for doing that, and I hope you guys take advantage of it if you can. So, how are you going to connect the antenna to the radio? Well, I'm glad Mike's here because Mike may be interested in testing this out. So I found this on Amazon. This is a Black Friday special. For 75 feet, it's about $60 for Coax. That's not bad. And it's called KMR 400, so I'm assuming this is a bit of an ABR LMR 400 similar type thing. And if we pull up the numbers, this is their numbers that they're advertising here. Not bad as far as loss ratings at 75. Obviously, if we're talking HF, then we're going to be looking at everything from 50 megahertz and below. Half a dB or 0.5 dB over 75 feet is not fantastic. But that's kind of what LMR 400 does too. So there you go, Mike. You might want to check that out. I know you've been testing some coax, so not bad. Yeah, Chinesium LMR 400. Yeah, so go in with the caveat. Again, we're doing this video as kind of a fun trying to build a station out of only what's available on Black Friday. And there's not a lot of coax deals out there because coax is literally it's material, it's copper and other things. You can't really cut the bottom out of that. That's just what it costs, right? And then you got to factor in a little bit for the retailer to stay in business, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, not a lot of deals on coax. So they probably cut some corners somewhere. So just keep that in mind before you go jumping into this going, well, that's a crazy deal, Josh. Thanks for showing me that. All right. Well, we got our radio, at least a couple of radio options if you're following along. Again, links are in the description. We have an antenna. We're going with the DX Commander. There are some other antennas we'll talk about when we start going a little bit further here. But I think that's just a fantastic deal, so you should go with that. Now we got our coax. How do we power this whole thing? All right. So again, we're looking at DX Engineering. Gigaparts, ham radio outlet's going to have the same deals. So if you have any one of those locations closer to you, go ahead and go with them. I have been a longtime fan of the Alinco for quite a while. This is only $10 off, but again, this is a really, really nice power supply in that it kind of does a lot of things a beginner ham would potentially need. So you have the 12-volt outlet there, like the car outlet. You have the, whatever they call those little plunger mounts like you'd use on a speaker on a whole home AV system. And then they have banana connectors on the back. This is just a decent power supply. Not a lot of deals on power supplies right now, but this one's pretty good. And it's a long time been on my list of pretty dang good power supplies. So that's kind of why I recommend it. All right. Now, if you want to power things outside of the shack, or you're going to go portable, or you're going to do something along those lines, batteries are kind of going to be your life. I generally like Bioenno. That's one of the main batteries I use when I am going out myself. Bioenno batteries, I don't think is having I don't think they're having a Black Friday deal. They don't have it advertised. I didn't include this because, if they're not going to have a Black Friday, I just mention it for the sake of mentioning it. But good stuff, nonetheless. I have used this Jackery to power my G90 via the cigarette lighter port or the 12-volt auto port using a power pole adapter. And it works just fine. The problem with the Jackery is it doesn't put out enough amps to run a 100-watt output radio. It just doesn't have that rating. The RFI, somebody already asked, is it RFI noisy? No, it wasn't. I did use some ferrites though. I had some ferrite beads or toroid cores, wrapped the power line through it right at the connection point to the radio, and it was okay. This actually did so well, which again, I don't think this is rated for this. I was actually able to run the Xiegu amp on single sideband with this Jackery, and this is the cheapest Jackery. It's the one I own. I have not needed anything larger than this. It's the one that generally I use with the kids, keeping their equipment charged up when we're out doing whatever and we're off the grid per se, camping and whatnot. Generally a good little portable unit. It was what I used when we were at Thomas Mountain 2 weeks ago. Great. I really have no complaints for it. Yeah, the other I did watch Jason's video, and I didn't know what he was going to link to, and he mentioned the Blue Eddy. Also good, and the Blue Eddy is probably a better buy, I think. I think it has a higher amp rating. Just decide what your price is and what you want to get. So either one's going to be pretty good. As far as panels, and so once you get all this set up, you got to keep this thing powered, right? So Jackery has a couple of panel options. The one that's on Black Friday right now is their 80-watt flatline panel that is water resistant, and it kind of goes in like a case and you can carry it around. It's more of a luggable panel, so it's not exactly portable like my foldable 100-watt panel is, but it's also cheaper than my 100-watt panel. My 100-watt Jackery panel is pretty expensive, and I have used that panel to charge up my Go Box with my 20 amp hour battery. I've used it into multiple different charge controllers, and I've obviously used it with the Jackery power box. Works fine. RNL has a deal on their front page for a power supply. Oh, I didn't pull up RNL. I often don't go to RNL. I think maybe they're just below my radar sometimes, so I miss some of that stuff. Either way, if you want a power supply, the one at DX Engineering, or go check out RNL too. Why not? All right. For those of you that may be doing portable or QRP, and you don't need these newfangled big batteries or solar panels or whatnot. Maybe you just got a little itty-bitty mountain topper or something that can run off of 9 volts. There are quite a few of these 9-volt USB-C rechargeable batteries out there. And again, this is a hat tip to Adam, K6ARK. He told me about these. I generally would recommend the ones that are USB-C. Don't get the ones that are USB micro, USB-C. They will charge and run a mountain topper for a decent amount of time, and you'll get about 3 watts output on a mountain topper. So for you Morse code kit builders or anyone that runs 9-volt battery stuff, generally QRP CW radios. These are great. They're really fairly priced too. This one in particular, which might be USB micro, I think it might be, is about $19. So that's not bad because you get 4. So let's see if they show me the connector. Might be 4. It might be USB. Good question, Matt. Maybe that's just my prejudice. I just want to unify everything that I own to USB-C, so I don't have to have all these extra dongles. The USB-C port is also it's dual-sided, so you can just plug it in no matter what. And micro is just a tiny little thing that I've broken a ton of connectors on USB micros on different devices, and I just prefer not to use them if we can skip them at all. So that's just my opinion. All right, what's next? That's the batteries. Okay. All right, so soldering irons. There's quite a few soldering irons that are on Amazon. This is kind of a word of warning more than anything because I'm not necessarily recommending these. I'm showing them more as just an FYI. Let's scroll up to the top here. This guy. This one jumped out at me, and I'm like, hey, what's going on with this guy? So this looks almost identical to what is Joe Eisenberg's favorite entry-level iron, which are the Xtronics. If you look at this guy, oh boy, don't those look similar? Let's go back to this one. Very similar. So I'm venturing a guess that these are probably the same unit, and if Joe Eisenberg says this is a really good unit from Xtronic, it's probably likely that you could take a bit of a gamble on this guy and get yourself a pretty good iron. If you simply don't want to chance it, even at $20 savings or whatnot, Xtronic makes some fantastic irons. Unfortunately, I include them just as a warning to you all here because they don't have a Black Friday deal. But $65 for a temperature-controlled iron is pretty good. Yeah, so Brett says there are dozens of these cheap Chinese soldering stations. It's a better idea to get one with an air gun retooling, though. So kind of, sort of, I'm of the mindset that you should get them separate, but Xtronic does make combo units. In fact, this is one of them. This is not a cheap unit. This is a combo soldering iron and hot air rework station. The one that I have from Xtronic is this guy that I've used on the True SDX, among other things. This is a really capable unit. Oh, this is a dual unit as well. This is not my unit. Hold on. Let me go back. Where is my unit? It is... Where is my hot air reflow station's not here anymore? That's weird. Oh, Anyway. That's really odd. That's it. This is it. This is the guy I have. Just the hot air reflow or rework. Great little unit. And I was watching Coffee and Ham Radio this morning, and Steve said, I really want a unit that you can set the iron down on the cradle and it shuts the air off. So this unit will do that. But what it first does is it'll run while it's in the cradle to bring the cooling of the head down, and then once it's cooled off, then it shuts off the airflow. So it turns off the heating element, and then it keeps blowing air until the air rushing over it brings all the temperature down. Nice little unit. This one's great. Yeah, exactly. No one's gonna see my unit. Everything is waist up on these live streams, so nobody fret. All right. All right, so there's the warning on irons. Yes, you can get cheap irons on Amazon on Black Friday. But it's often more worth your time to just save your money and get yourself like a good Weller, a good Hako, or still a high quality unit getting the Xtronics. But if you want to take a gamble, there are a couple ones and they are linked in the description. I don't see the little USB-C pens. Maybe that's for a good reason. They're not fantastic soldering irons, but hey, FYI. All right. Tools, hand tools. Every ham needs some hand tools. So we've pretty much covered all of the required bits to build a ham station, a ham shack. So now we're looking at just fleshing out your station, if you will, your ham shack with different items. So about this time of year, you start getting asked, hey, what do I want for Christmas? Or what do you personally want? If you haven't already looked at Vera tools are fantastic, and a ton of them are on Black Friday right now. So if you don't have a set of insulated screwdrivers, for instance, this is a pretty good deal for the set at about $31. Pretty good little units here, and you can see this is the bidding. All right, there. Got a couple of different ones, so you can check that out. But pretty good stuff in general, Vera tools. I have quite a few, and I really like them. Did I lose it? There it is. Let's go back here. So a couple of different precision tool sets as well for ham radio stuff, which we end up using precision tools more than anything. So these are really, really good units as well. So check those out. All right. You got your antenna set up. You just built your DX Commander, right? And it's all those elements. It's an all-band HF antenna, or pretty much all-band HF antenna. How you get all those elements in line? Well, you generally use an antenna analyzer. And when it comes to tools that ham may want, particularly one that's getting on HF, antenna analyzer is probably on the high number one, number two things that a person might want to invest in when they're getting into HF, particularly building antennas. So there's a couple that are on sale. We're again back at DX Engineering. Most of the companies have these same deals, just a reminder, but just an FYI. I pulled this up as an example. So a couple of caveats with these. Rig experts are great. They're very, very good antenna analyzers. I've used quite a few of them. I've owned quite a few of them, both ones that I personally have bought and that were sent to me as a loaner to test and whatnot. All of them have worked very well. The zoom line, so anything that is like a 35 zoom or this 230 zoom, they added a lot of really fun capabilities with showing you where the band edges are so that you can kind of tune the antenna into the appropriate space that it needs to be. Really makes tuning up antennas like multi-band antennas really, really easy. However, let's talk about these ones that are on sale right now. So the 35 will get you up to 35 megahertz, which means it will take you from 0.06 megahertz all the way up to 35 megahertz, meaning you get everything from 10 meters and lower, which is almost all the HF ham bands. What this won't do is 6 meters. Not that big a deal for a lot of you, but hey, who knows? Hey, thank you so much, Pilot of Nothing RC. Thank you so much for the super chat. I hope this helps. I hope some of you guys get good deals out there. That's kind of the point of doing all this. Now, if you step it up, so let's see, you're going from $269 to $450, and you get the Zoom 230, the AA 230. Well, you may be noticing a trend. The number is the megahertz, the max megahertz that the unit will handle. Well, that gets you down or up to 230 megahertz, which means you pick up 6 meters and you pick up 2 meters as well within the ham bands. It doesn't give you 440. So it almost doubles the price, but you pick up 2 more bands. And you'll find that when it comes to test equipment, the higher in frequency you go, you start paying a lot more money for the privilege of doing that. So $450, that's not cheap. Can we do better? Well, we can. But first, let me say a big thank you to Marcel Off-Axis FPV. Are you guys? Boy, we got Pilots of Nothing RC, and then we got an FPV. Is that also a drone channel or a drone person? That's pretty cool. Thanks for the super chat. So we can do a bit better. Let's go one over here. Where is it? Over to Gigaparts. Again, same deals with all the companies. Rig Expert Stick 230 is on sale right now, and that is $289, and that will get you up to 230 megahertz. So same coverage as the the AA230 zoom, but in the stick format. Now, the user control is reduced in the stick, but it has the capability of Bluetoothing with your phone. This is a fantastic antenna analyzer if you're out in the field or you are literally going to go lay hands on a radio and you are an antenna and you want to bring it along with you. The sticks are fantastic, and this is quite a good deal at $289. I believe, yeah, so it's a $30 savings, which is not bad at all. Oh, RNL's got it at $279. Okay, we'll pull up RNL. I feel bad now that I'm not looking at RNL more. That's electronics, right? There we go. Nah, do we get it? Oh. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's not a bad power supply. I was looking. Okay, so $99 is not bad. Let's see if we can find that Stick 230. RNL, undercutting the competition. Thanks, Jason, RNL.com. Hey, yeah, $279. So there you go, folks. I'll copy that link and we'll make sure we get that into the show notes. So that's $10. That's even better savings over Gigaparts and the others. So maybe you just go to RNL.com. Oh, there we go. What I think Don just dropped it. He got it in there. Okay, cool. So yeah, check them out on that. All right, excellent. What if $280 here is still too much for you and you got this DX Commander you need to put up? Well, here you go. We've talked about them before, the Nano VNA. There's a myriad of different options on Amazon. I'm merely linking to which one is likely based off of the original, because there are a couple of different versions of the Nano VNA, mostly the same, more like material case build and whatnot. This one though kind of comes with everything you need, about $50 for a antenna analyzer. This is actually a VNA, which stands for Vector Network Analyzer, and this will allow you to do more than just tune an antenna. Generally, all antenna analyzers are VNAs, but not all of them give you the full capability of the VNA like the Nano VNA does. This will also connect to your computer via USB-C port. It has a rechargeable battery, $50. This is one of those like no-brainer, all hams should have one of these, even if you have a rig expert. Having a Nano VNA is incredibly valuable. It's a really, really good tool. And again, it's on the high list of tools that I recommend all hams have in their shack or on them when they're going out doing something like field day or a long weekend of POTA and all that fun stuff. So John, hey John, thank you for the super chat, KB5SLF. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. That one, no. So if you're gonna, okay, so good question. Nano VNAs, they also vary in size of screen. This is the standard, the small one, if you will, which is why it's $50. If you pay a bit more money, though, we can just pull it up. Yeah, so there's a multitude of Nano VNAs. This one is the 4-inch screen. That's going to be $100, right? So as you start going up, adding features to it, you're going to pay more money, which is, nothing wrong with getting the bigger screen if that's what you need. But you can see they go all the way up to like $207, or there's ones with SO239 connectors or Type N connectors. So let's pull up the upgraded one. So there you go. Slightly bigger screen, I believe. That's kind of how they work. Like I said, there's so many different options in Nano VNAs. Look, this is just the Amazon listing when you search Nano VNA. Reminder, if you're not really an Amazon user and you search for something like Nano VNA right here, right? Make sure you click this Black Friday deals as we go through the week here. And then that will pull up the ones that are on discount, right? So you'll save some money. Make sure you go through that whole process. See, you can see Black Friday deal with the red boxes. That's what you're looking for. All right? Reminder, when we're going to wrap things up, don't run away, because this stream will take you right over to the happy hour, which is going to be over at Ham Radio 2.0's channel, and I'll be there. I'm going to take a couple of minutes after the live stream, but I'll be there. Ben, hope you didn't eat too much food yesterday. Well, you always eat too much food. It's just a matter of stuffing yourself to an uncomfortable level or not, and I didn't. I did not stuff myself to an uncomfortable level. All right. Couple more things when we're talking tools. Countycom.com, we've done a couple of videos with them with some unboxings and whatnot. They have a couple of Black Friday specials. I always kind of throw Countycom into the mixes here because a lot of people don't know about Countycom, and they are just they make some really fun stuff. They have shortwave radios, which we've talked about, the GP7. They have flashlights, they have tools, they have all kinds of these weird little stocking stuffer items. I've done video, my antenna, my make anything into an antenna toolkit was a lot of the tools and parts of it came from Countycom, including the box that it all rides in. So there's a couple of coupon codes that are on their website there. No affiliate links for me on this one, but just an FYI. They make good stuff. All right, Digilent. So if you have a Nano VNA, which is a vector network analyzer, oftentimes people want to also add an oscilloscope, a spectrum analyzer, a frequency, what am I thinking of? Tone generator, frequency generator, a myriad of tools that we use for amateur radio. This is going down a little bit into the more technical side, the extras of the ham radio world, the double E's, the electronic engineers, that kind of stuff. You guys are generally going to want tools like this. So Digilent doesn't do necessarily a Black Friday deal. They do a Cyber Week deals, and you sign up and then they'll send you the deals. And there are some pretty interesting deals that I understand are coming up, but let me show you what this is. Why Digilent? Why am I even mentioning it? I haven't showed you anything. So the Analog Discovery 2 was mentioned when we have George on from the Ham Radio Workbench. He recommended this as like one of the best tools you can get for an amateur radio operator if you want to explore the building aspect of it or the troubleshooting aspect of amateur radio. Now, a couple of notes here. This unit will pretty much do everything you want to do in the HF frequency space. It won't go to 2 meters. So if you wanted to do a spectrum analyzer test for Baofangs for like signal purity on seeing where their harmonics are at, this unit will not do that. But at $400, it's one of the cheapest ways to get a spectrum analyzer and oscilloscope kind of all in one package. So pretty good. It's a pretty fun unit. I'll be talking more about that in the future. I have one that I need to do a couple of videos on. All right. Every year we always mention Palomar, big friends of the channel. I am not affiliated with them at all. I don't kind of get any cutbacks or anything like that. I just love their products so much. I love these guys. They've been really helpful with me and helping me tame my RFI problems. And for the longest time, they have done a coupon code, HRCC73, which you get 10% off at checkout. Well, now you get 15% off for the live stream for Black Friday. So if you are thinking about getting anything, Toroids or any of their kits to reduce the RFI in any of the electronics you're dealing with, if you do BF 2022 exclamation point at checkout, 15% off your sale, which is fantastic. Let's see. Question from R. Strong. I know you have done videos on them in the past, but can the Nano VNA do that for 2 meters? Yes, you can. It can. But the Nano VNA is not an oscilloscope. It is not a spectrum analyzer. It is a network vector analyzer, which is a different thing. You would need a tiny SA, which is another piece of test equipment, very similar size to the Nano VNA, and that tiny, the SA in that is spectrum analyzer. So good stuff. All right, moving along here. Where are we at? Boop, boop, boop. All right, now we're going to get into the fun stuff a little bit. All right, so you're a ham radio person, and maybe you're thinking about doing a little bit of creating or potentially get into satellites or just want to have a different way of tracking contacts. Well, there's a couple of recorders that Amazon has available right now that you can use as like a line in, line out to your headphones or to a speaker, and you can capture the audio into the recorder. This is the most useful for those of you that do satellites or anything where the contacts are fast and furious and there's not a lot of back and forth. There's kind of just a one-way signal report, and you copy it down and fire back. This Zoom H1 portable recorder, very, very good recorder. Really, really nice. It was the one a lot of folks use for POTA, SOTA, outdoor stuff when they're shooting videos as well. It's nice to have a second audio path so that if you're primary microphone is blown out with wind or whatnot, you can get dead cats for that H1 really inexpensively. So I put that in the link as well. There aren't a ton of my favorite recorders that are on Black Friday deals, like this Sony. $70 is a really good unit, has the USB on the side. But there are a number of these Chinese ones that I'm not going to recommend necessarily. Really, really good ones from Zoom as well, but just keep that in mind. And if you want to go full hog and start making YouTube videos or whatnot, I got a couple of recommendations here. So the first is the GoPro just came out with the Hero 11. This is the creator bundle that includes a light and a microphone. It has a tripod, a number of other things as well. $550 is not cheap, though. That is some high dollar stuff, but you can do a lot with the GoPro. If that's too steep for you and you're not sure you want to go down that road, I hear you. I understand. Well, where did it go? DJI has a bunch of discounts as well. And what I recommend to people who are starting out on YouTube and they want to make videos, particularly just, fun ham radio videos, consider getting something like the Osmo Mobile 6 gimbal. You can handhold this thing. It's a selfie stick. It has a tripod. This is the one that just came out. Mine is the Mobile 5, which I've used at all the Hamfest talks that I've gone to. I go live from my phone straight onto this one, the Mobile 5. It works great. It's a fantastic way to get really stable video, and it's super cool. So yeah, I would consider that a nice little buy potentially, and this one is on sale for Black Friday. So check that out as well. Let me go back just in case you didn't know. DJI obviously makes gimbals. They have an action cam. They do all of their fun drones, and I myself am looking at their big boy gimbals, like the Ronin and some of the other stuff for some of my crazy cameras that I've got. But this is frivolous Josh talking right now, so we'll continue. Well, bad news, everybody. Bad news. I don't think we can get the Evolve 3 Maestros anymore. The affectionately named Jankopotamus. I can't find them. They're extremely hard to find. Those of you that got them, consider yourself lucky. So I am once again searching for the next cheapest laptop that does 12 volts. Got to be Windows. Needs to charge off of 12 volts. Ideally would have 2 USB ports. So I posted the link here just so you guys can look, but do not assume that all of these or any of these will charge off of 12 volts. Bums me out, I know, but no more Evolve 3. Sad, sad day. They're out there, and sometimes stock pops up, but they're just extremely difficult to find. So people are lamenting. Tank says mine is stuck in a constant boot loop. Did you try to upgrade it to Linux? What was the other one? Has a friend smash his screen on his LTE Evolve. Oh no. Not good, not good. All right, so what else do I need to mention? A couple of things. Again, we're going to be going over to this guy's channel here in a little bit. You don't have to do anything. We're just going to end the stream there, and it'll just whisk you on over there. But it's Ham Radio 2.0's channel. You probably know how to find him. I'll drop a link to this guy, though, in the chat as well. And let's take some questions, comments, or anyone have any good deals that they got today. And I'm going to go back to RNL just to make sure I don't miss any hot deals. Let's see. A lot of the things look the same, but yeah, that's a smoking deal. Hey, by the way, these are much like the Yaesu FTVX or FT6, whatever. The 6X, the one I talked about on the kind of top radios available today. So I know Kenwood is they're not defunct, but they're just not doing as much ham radio as they used to. However, the TMV71 Alpha is a fantastic mobile radio. So if you're looking at a mobile radio, looks like it's on sale right now. So that's a good one. Also, the ICOM 2730, just a really easy to use mobile radio. I'm looking to see if that's on sale right now. Doesn't look like it. ICOM 7100 with a speaker. Not bad at all. Exactly. Yeah, Alan Beckman. So is the 2730. The ICOM 2730 is also full duplex with headphones. So yeah, you can do all the things with it. All right. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Let's see. Check in the chat here. 99. Oh. We've got a lead. All right, let's go to Micro Center. I'm telling you all, the best thing is having a laptop that charges off of 12 volts. It's really hard. There we go. Let's click that. 119. This is one of the laptops that has been mentioned a couple of times. So I need to see what the peripherals look like. Okay, here we go. We need to see that I/O. So you got HDMI out. Okay. USB-A, USB-C. Okay. And looks like another USB on the side. That could potentially be a Cat 5 port. Or Cat 6. Let's see. Does anybody actually have this in the chat and can tell us if it charges off of 12 volts? I really wish people would get wise to this. All you van lifers running off of these 12-volt systems, this should be something that all these companies should mention somewhere. Oh, man, that would be cool. If they charged it off a 5-volt USB, that would be, like, insanely good. Antenna giveaways. B. Murphy, that's tomorrow, bud. You're a day early. And, yeah, speaking of antenna giveaways, cannot forget to remind everybody, go get in on that contest. This is pretty much the last couple of hours. I'm going to pull the list, if you will, sometime tonight. So you need to make sure you get in on that because I need to run the bot against it, that whole thing. So, yep, the power stations and solar generators. Yeah, it's true, but maybe we should probably talk about this on the happy hour. I'm always curious of, like, if you have a 12-volt system and you're stepping it up to 110, you're getting some efficiency loss in doing that. Isn't it better to just have everything all the way through? Just make it all simple. One less thing to have, because that's what that little box is doing that comes with your laptop anyway. It's stepping on the charge down to 12 volts or 15 volts or 18 volts or whatever the laptop's running on. 19 volts. Oof. All right. I didn't see any scanners. I didn't see any scanners that were on sale, but maybe we can go back here. No, I didn't see any. No after chat today. Their after chat will be tomorrow night, again, after the antenna giveaway. It's going to be a raucous affair. There's going to be a lot of people joining us live. After chat is tomorrow, but we are leaving this stream, and we're going right over to Jason Ham Radio 2.0's channel, and he's going to have a happy hour with a bunch of our ham radio friends on. So if you want to join us, this live stream will end and just kind of carry you on over to Jason's if you want to, or you can pull him up and just be ready to go. No, Brett Glass, you do not have to be present. You can just sign up and that's it. Yeah, the after chat is on Jason's stream. Any good sales that you found for antenna? Jake, were you not here for my whole talk? Let's see. Let's go back. So yeah, DX Engineering has the Zoom 230 and the AA35 and the AA230, which is an okay deal. I feel like where as far as your money goes, the AA35 is the better one, but you can't get up to 2 meters with that. Likely the better price, though, that we found, and it's about $10 cheaper than all the others, is the Rig Expert stick at R&L for $280. That's probably about as good as you're going to get for a Rig Expert. And then, of course, you have the tried and true Nano VNAs. And most of those links are already in the description, so you can check that out. Yeah, that's Uniden scanners have been out. Yaesu has a general coverage receiver. That's a good one. Not a scanner, though. General coverage receivers are different than scanners. Yeah, scanners, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of new ones or really anything to get excited about. They're all pretty much the same. All right, let's go back to Gigaparts here for a second so we can scroll the list. All right, so what Yaesu, again, wrapping it up with the 710 at $1,050. All right, that's kind of what I expected. I called that. I think I called that anyway. The Yaesu FT5DR, $350, not bad. FTM 400, great radio. A little bit older now, but still fantastic. It's the one I use in my car. FT891, $600. Can't really beat that. That's a good deal too. Yeah, you could pass on the FT4, FT70, not bad. I remember when this was $140, kids, like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, $140. The ICOM ID52, fantastic radio. That is $600. It's about $50 off. 710 or the 5100, not bad. That's $40-ish off, not bad too. Hey, here's a hot deal for any of you that are HF users of the ICOM base station radios or the 705. The RSBA One software has $100. That's useful. This is what I use to get wireless control of the 705 on my radio. Good stuff. Oh, Ray's, now I'm talking about ICOM. Ray popped in. So, hey, he's there. Yeah, Ray, we're going to wrap things up and go to Jason's happy hour shortly. But I saw RSB1A on sale. Good stuff. That's good. Let's see. No 2730 discount, though. That's all right. All right. That's a good one. In fact, I have a video I've got to post from Huntsville. I haven't posted it yet, and I have deep apologies to the satellite master who just killed this contact using a 2730 full duplex radio. Good stuff for satellites. Really, really cool. I will get to work on that and try and post it Monday. I'll try and do that before we wrap up the Thomas Mountain adventure. And if you can't do the DX Commander, although you should buy the DX Commander, the Radio Waves is also having a discounted $20 off their off-center fend dipole, which I believe Adam, K6ARK, that's his primary home antennas in off-center fed. Not the Radio Waves specifically. I could be wrong, but yeah. And I'll take one more pass here just to let everybody know again. Callum is doing a very few number of special DX Commander classics. They are like all the other classics, but includes 80 meters for free, and how he keeps the price down to about $300 shipped to the United States to you is going with the tri wire instead of the DX10 wire. So there's your savings. $300 though for a classic plus 80 meters. Fantastic. Yeah, so there you go. I think he told me I had 20 and that you had 20, so maybe there's more than 30 available. But Jason also has a very similar link, so if you miss out on mine or they run out, go check Jason's his video that he posted for Black Friday. But this is a smoking deal. $300 shipped for a DX Commander Classic with the 80 meter option, with the 80 meters, which is like a sloping L, inverted L type setup. Great deal. It shouldn't be. No, it shouldn't be. Yeah, normally it's $350 shipped. So if you go to 209, right? 209, and then you convert to American dollars, which is gets you about $250, and then you add shipping, it's about $300. No, it says 209 right here. 209 converts to roughly $250, right? We already covered that. All the links are in the description. The only one I have to update is this the Rig Expert stick, which I'm going to do. All right. Very good. Yes, it requires about 3 feet up. There's the first section, and that's where the guy plate is. There's 2 sets of guy plates. It does require guys, but you don't have to go out more than 4 feet from the mast. Uh-oh, Ryan just, okay, well, there you go. I just bought it after conversion. It was $350. Huh. So after the conversion, what am I not getting right? Oh, plus shipping. Okay. Let's see. Converted from 320 to 250. Okay. Oh, and PayPal charges. There you go. All right, guys. I am going to take 5 here. Going to wrap up the live stream right now, and then I'm going to hop over to Jason's stream. Like I said, this is just going to end, and it hopefully should just slide you over if YouTube's working the way it is supposed to. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We talked about a ton of stuff. Jason posted a video earlier today. Go watch his video because he's got a bunch of other things that I didn't talk about. So you'll get a whole bunch of cool video or a whole bunch of cool Black Friday ideas by going to both of our videos. All right, 73, everybody. We'll see you in a little bit, literally in 5 minutes. We're going to see you again, and we'll be talking more Black Friday, more deals. So take it easy. I'll play you out with some memes. 73. All right, see you in a minute, friends.